So now I'm just putting this onion, garlic, the same amount of rice, you put the same amount of guara. My name is Lucy Lopez, and I'm 80 years old. And when I came to this country, I didn't even know how to fry an egg.
What's your favorite kind of food?
All Mexican food. I love tamales, I love enchiladas, I love burritos, any kind. Hot sauce, I love hot sauce. You toast the jalapeno, and then you toast the tomatoes, and put a little garlic and salt, and go like this. Mamma mia, that's a good salsa.
If you had to choose one person of Mexican-American heritage in this state to put on a pedestal, it's Lucy Lopez.
I came from Cuautla, Jalisco. I was like a little village, and I was about 2,000 people living over there, but there was no opportunity, nothing. So I just say I better find a better life. So I left the town. I went to Mexico City to work. I met a couple over there, and they hired me as a babysitter. So that's why I came to this country in 1957.
She was one of the pioneers. You'd have to say she's one of the pioneers.
So I work in the restaurants, washing dishes, and became a cook.
She understood how to cook Mexican food to the American tasting, or for the American tasting. And that was a great, great success.
How many restaurants did you own?
We used to own 7.
She's the mother of all good Mexican food in this state.
Azteca, Torreros, El Toro, Mazatlan, Guadalajara. These are all restaurants that somehow she's affiliated with. Right now we probably have over 400 Mexican restaurants in the state of Washington that all owe their allegiance one way or another to what Lucy started.
Now we drive down the street and we see Mexican restaurants everywhere, and we think it was always like that. That is not true. I mean, there were no Mexican restaurants except for Lucy's not that long ago.
In those days, it was hard for any person of color to get any meaningful job in the area. But if Lucy had a job and somebody needed a job, Lucy would hire them. Many of the people that worked for her in the restaurants later on went to establish restaurants of their own.
And rather than just try to keep them with her, she has encouraged them and helped them and loaned them money and supported them to go out and start their own restaurants. And they have done so all over the state.
I can say to Lucy, thank Lucy for all the help she gave me. For her, I'm here now in the business. She teach me how to do it, and he's a great example for me now.
I think that everyone has to be grateful to her because she helped almost everyone. They are very, very good persons. We really are friends. We really are.
How does it feel to look and see all these different Mexican restaurants, hundreds of them in Seattle? They were possible because you made it possible.
Oh, I feel so good. I feel so proud, and sometimes I say if some people, they need help, even if I am retired, I can go in the kitchen and teach them how to do things, Everything that I know, I want to give it away, I don't want to keep it for myself. I've never been a selfish person.
She's always been almost the godmother of the community in many ways. That person that has been instrumental in being sort of the glue and the grease for a community that's really needed to have subtle leadership.
I met my husband over here, Pablo. We were dating only 6 months, and then I flew to Spain and married him in 1960. So we have been married 48 years.
She and Pablo together, between the two of them, they've done very well in the business world, and they're very savvy, I think.
We worked really hard. My husband was a very intelligent man. He knows the business, and I know the cooking. So together, we make a really good team. ¿Y cómo? Before I was a very happy. I always been a very happy woman. Sí, como nada. But since that stroke, my life from here changed all over. Been so sad, depressed, and hoping that my husband, at least he can talk. Despacio. So he gets very depressed. Sometimes he cries. And it breaks my heart when I see him crying, you know, big man and everything and crying. Breaks my heart. It's very hard to take care of a person like my husband. I just keep on praying and praying, God, don't take me away before, because what is going to be happening to him? Okay, honey. Good luck. See you later, eh? Okay?
This stroke has just, made him real disabled, and it's very difficult.
Pablo.
Luckily, his brain seems to be just fine, but he can't communicate, he can't verbalize. So it's very difficult. And she takes such loving care of him.
Very good. No has practicado, antes practicabas diario, Pablo.
I think that the best way to describe, to define Lucy Lopez is as a lady with a very big heart.
Do you know that they are going to name a center on my name?
Well, the vision is this new building, and the people that will be visiting this new building in the near future.
Like she set a cornerstone for her restaurants, the Lucy Lopez Center in this area of the state of Washington will be like a cornerstone for our cultural activities, our community activities, and hopefully, if it's done appropriately, for learning activities that will serve the youth of our community.
And I was so surprised and so grateful to Roberto, because he is the one who is pushing a community center with my name. So what else can I ask? Nothing else.
I asked the ex-mayor, I asked the superintendent, I asked many business people, the Chamber of Commerce, what do they think about the center? Well, they say, we need it.
It's an excellent idea. It's something that should have come a long time ago, just simply because she has had such an influence in the food and restaurant business here in Seattle, which translates into a lot of economic opportunity for many, many other people.
I'll tell you a funny story about Lucy. Colonel Sanders, one thing that people don't know about the Colonel is he loved Mexican food. And he would always go to eat at Lucy's restaurant. And he said to Lucy, could I get that recipe for the guacamole sauce? And she said, oh, sure, there's no problem at all. Not a problem. You send me the recipe for the chicken, I'll send you the recipe for the guacamole. That's Lucy Lopez. She doesn't miss a beat.
This is good for me. I feel Seattle like in my home, more like my home. And I love Seattle, because they give me the opportunity to be a good woman.
Legacy is going to be how she helped build this community, essentially one taco at a time. And she did this with her recipes, she did it with her business acumen, she did this with a sense of love for community and love for people.
That's my philosophy. If you do good, you get good. If you do bad, you get bad. And I feel that I did good. And I did good, and I have my rewards.